Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk RE creators, specifically the RE creators that came out today, episode 13. Episode 13 was a recap episode. Recap episodes are pretty much the bane of any anime viewer's existence, but this recap episode was actually pretty pleasant. Like, they did something pretty unique in this recap episode that really makes it kind of enjoyable to watch. RE creators this time tackles the recap episode from the perspective of a character, in this case Meteora. Meteora is the author for this particular little episode that we're having, but instead of having her just give us a standard this is what happened kind of narration, she adds her own little twist to it. And so because of that, we get some really nice little morsels, like the line that Meteora is the treasure of the universe, and she paints herself in this image, and also just has a lot of nice little lines and sequences, such as justifying why it's okay that Celica had a bad fight against a child, and also just a sequence of a guy just pulling out guns the whole time. And also when you get a sequence like this one when she's talking about all muscle and no brain. Instead of a standard recap episode, we get an episode that has that nice little charm and tells us more about the character narrating. How could you not appreciate that? And it also throws in a couple of new scenes for anyone who wondered what Meteora kind of imagines herself as. Now again, it is a recap episode, so it is reusing a lot of scenes and it is reusing a lot of dialogue. But Meteora again steps in with her little jokes, like comments like all muscle no brain, and she also goes in a bit further and justifies, or rather tells us where exactly these characters come from. She tells us the more information about the stories that they originate from. So for some people, this might be information that you might have either forgotten or we might not have gotten before. So even then, the recap episode is still kind of filling in some amount of information for any fan that is kind of keen on that information. Overall, this recap episode is much more engaging than the regular type of recap episodes that people have gotten used to. It's much more engaging than a recap episode for, say, One Piece, and it's much more engaging than the recap episode for My Hero Academia. This one takes advantage of the fact that RE Creators is a very meta concept, or a very meta show when it comes to the idea of creations coming into a real world setting. And so it just embraces that and takes it to a higher degree. But the real killer for all of this comes in at the end of the recap episode, and is just the most hilarious thing when she breaks the fourth wall and she starts addressing complaints from the animation crew, specifically on the main villain. I think the highlight of that whole sequence is the moment that Meteora says that she hopes that Altair is able to wear just like some sweats and sandals, make everything easier. Her whole little tirade about Altair's design is the most hilarious thing that you have in that second half of the episode. Ultimately, the last thing that really makes this recap episode respectable is that they acknowledge, or Meteora acknowledges for them to some degree, the logistics behind why the recap episode exists. And at the very least, it's respectable that they're being very transparent about it. They even tell us that the recap episode was planned from the very beginning, and this is just to give the creators a bit more time. Otherwise, in Meteora's words, they'd be shriveled up husks. And for being so transparent, that's something that you could at least appreciate this recap episode for. It knows what it is, but you know what? They did their best to make this a fun enough time. And they do try and tell you, don't worry, we're going to be back for the second half and it's all going to be good. And we end off with a different ending theme. How could you not appreciate that? But ultimately, RE Creators, episode 13, a really good attempt at a recap episode, and by far not the most annoying of the variety that we could have gotten. Well, we're done. Cool, awesome. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to talk about RE Creators once in a while. It's a pretty nice show. If you haven't seen RE Creators, go for it. Try watching it now. We're going into the second half. If you are watching RE Creators, how was the recap episode for you? Did you find it as funny as I did? Anyway, let me know down below. And yeah, let's end it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Have a good day.